Wow, I'm so excited and so pumped up to be on the call with you guys again tonight. And wow, what an awesome Super Regionals we've just had in Johannesburg. It was really good. And I'm not going to talk much about the Super Regionals now. I'll give some more announcements after our keynote has spoken. But let me just tell you guys, Cape Town, you're in for something big. I believe this was the best Super Regionals we've had, and it's funny how it seems to be like that every time. I don't know how the guys do it, but it's just like it just moves to a new level every 3 months. So I'm fired up about that. I'm really excited. And guys, if you weren't at the Joburg Super Regionals and Cape Town is coming up for you, I want to tell you guys, get double as many people there as what you have been planning to get there, because it's that good. So all right. So firstly, guys, let me just mention to you guys, at the Johannesburg Super Regionals, there was a record number of new regional directors that broke. So regional directors, since the last Super Regionals up to this one, 52 new regional directors walked across the stage. It looked like there were almost more new regional directors than there were previously qualified regional directors. So man, it was really, that was probably one of the most exciting parts of the whole weekend for me, and the leadership as well on Friday night was just absolutely fantastic. So guys, I'm fired up about Cape Town Super Regionals. I'm fired up about the next 3 months, and I really want to encourage you, if you can get the cash together, go to both Super Regionals. I mean, then you just get like inspired like double, twice. And I mean, it's just, yeah, and Joburg is like a warm-up, and then Cape Town is like the meat. So I'm really excited for you guys that are going to see the event for the first time in Cape Town, and for all the new people that are going to see it for the first time. For all of you that are going to your first Super Regionals in Cape Town, wow, you're in for a treat. Really, it is very special to be there. It's like being part of history, because of the whole M5M focus of Manatech and so on. We're making history here, guys. We're making history. There'll be a time when we've completed our mission, and people will look back and say, "Wow, do you remember the days when we had those super regional events before we completed this malnutrition mission that we're on?" And you guys are part of that now. Now is the exciting part. Now is the exciting part of all this. So well done, well on all you guys, and I salute you guys for being on this call, because it shows me that you guys are serious about building your business to the next level. Okay, so tonight we've got a special guest on the call. One of the newer one of the newer presidential directors in the country, and I'm really fired up about what he has to share every time. I'm so excited about their story. I hope it comes out on the Tools of the Month pretty soon, because that story of Hagen and Edelgard from stage was one of the best for me. So guys, I want to just take this opportunity then to welcome this couple onto the call. They're firing on all cylinders. They were up there in Johannesburg, and it's just so impressed me and so close to my heart to see how they've grown from the beginning. I mean, if you listen to Hagen talking and so on, and if you were at the last Super Regional event where he's told his story, you realize, man, if this guy can do it, if this guy can reach presidential director, seriously, anybody can do it. Because I mean, he talks about how his people skills were not quite the best, and they told him not to do anything with people, and he did anyway, and he stuck through it, and it changed, and he changed himself. And Hagen, I just want to say it's such an honor to see how you've developed, and to hear you guys speaking from stage. It's really inspiring. So guys, with that, I'd like to bring onto the call Presidential Director Hagen and Edelgard Krieg.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you can hear me. Just give me a tick so we can see that we're all on. Okay, fantastic. Man, yes, as Vince was saying, we had an awesome weekend. Thank you so much for all the speakers. It was just amazing. And I agree with Vince. Going to both is just it's just amazing. So thank you very much for those kind words, Vince. I really appreciate it. I must tell you though, that even if I had no skills and even if I had no ways of talking to people, one thing is for sure: I have a big dream, and with engineering, I was not able to get that. Okay, great. So thank you very much for the opportunity to share. I have put some ideas down. Leonie has asked me to talk about make excellent a habit. Before I go into that, I just want to first say thank you so much for Charlotte Melinda and Francois and Maver and Louis and Leonie for all their guidance and assistance over the last 7 years. It has been an amazing journey, and we are so, Hildegard and I, we are so blessed to be part of this winning team. So thanks, guys. We really appreciate it. You more than you think. Really, we do appreciate it. So let's talk about make excellent a habit. What a fun topic to talk about. Now, I wonder always why Leonie gave me these things and these topics, but maybe there's some things that I've learned over the last 15 years. I realized today we started when our kids were 3 and 5, so it's like 15 years ago that we decided that the job is no longer our main source of income. And then we had a bigger dream. We had plans, and we couldn't fulfill them just being an engineer. It's not going to be possible. So I found some quotes today about excellence. And Aristotle has said, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit." And there are some ways that you can make sure that you have excellence as a habit. Now, what we did is when I got introduced to Leonie and she said she would help me, one of the first books she said I must read is The Greatest Salesman in the World by Ockmandino. Is one of the best books you can put your hands on. Awesome book. And what we've done is we played a game. Leonie said to me, "Okay, you choose a habit and I must choose a habit. And what we will do is we will decide, and I need to concentrate on that habit now for 30 days. Now, so I'm actually not sure what habit I chose, but Leonie chose the habit that says, "I am nature's greatest miracle." Because by talking to me very quickly, you could realize that I had not a good self-image. I was the middle child of 3 boys. And my self-worth was not really good. I have in school, to just give you an idea, in my standard 5 year, I received the worst marks for social interaction with my classmates, and that was given to me when I was in standard 5. And as some of you know, that I didn't believe in myself. I was never told that somebody loves me. It was just not done. In our home, we had 2 things that were counting towards us, and that was discipline and persistence. And that is what my parents did, and they did what they could do to help us. I'm not sorry that it happened that way, because luckily I met Louis and Leonie, and they have actually helped me in believing in myself again. And the book, The Greatest Salesman in the World, and that chapter of I'm the Greatest Miracle has really changed my life. Now, here's a challenge for all of you on the call. Maybe this is what you could do. You could actually phone your upline core active leader and ask them, what habit could I change that would make a huge difference in my life? Play the game. Be the best you can be. Be excellent. Because sometimes you think you need to change as a habit, or there's a habit that you think will do something, but maybe somebody else can give you a bit of a different input, and maybe there's a habit there that really would make a huge difference in your life. Now, one of the things that I've learned in those 15 years is persistence, and I think also that has something to do with excellence. If you look at the sports people, if you look at everybody that's done amazingly well, they all have persistence. And my examples of my previous network marketing experience was 42 no's in a row. Who of you would have gone on with 42 no's in a row? Now all I did is I got a no, I went home, I read skill with people. I got a no, I went home, I read skill with people. And I got home and I read skill with people. And because I was hungry, and because I had help in the sense of somebody told me what to do and I need to show the plan and I need to go on, I actually developed. I developed in changing my habits. I developed in changing my leadership abilities. I was not able to make any money, but I was able to keep on going. And then I actually thought of something today, and I thought, when things go wrong, are dreams strong? That is the question. When things go wrong, how strong are your dreams? Are you willing to give up? Are you willing to just throw it in, or are you willing to stick it out because you have a dream? After 7 years on being an executive director, I knew something had to change. I was not quite sure what had to change. I knew I loved Manatech. I knew I loved the products, and I loved the guys that we were around. I mean, all the positive people. If I think of people when we go to the super regionals, it's not that. It was something within me. So I had to change. So I will give you some examples on what I had to do to overcome and to go to the next level. Let me quickly give you an indication of what it was like to actually have a bus trip every 2 weeks. Now, when you go onto the bus, I actually have shares on this bus company now because I traveled so much. And I had to be in Cape Town every 2 weeks. Luis Leone said to me, you know what, I need to coach you. There's some things that we have to change. Can you be here every 2 weeks? Now, such an opportunity, I'm slow, but I know that I need to get that opportunity. I know that with the help of Louis and Leone, they would help me. So getting on the bus meant I have to leave the home at 6 o'clock in the morning. That was now on a Thursday. I would drive for half an hour to PE because we stay in Newton. I then have to wait at the bus stop for half an hour in the cold and in the rain. Then at 7 o'clock the bus would come, and then it would be an 11-hour trip. 11-hour trip, sitting on one desk, or on one seat. And the only thing I did is I had good books with me. I had CDs or my telephone, and I listened to CDs. But I read, and I read, and I read a lot. And some days the bus would be late. But I promised people, I made a commitment. I said, I'll be there at the opportunity meeting. And I can remember some days when I came to Somerset West, my mum fetched me, I dropped her over at home, I showered, I got dressed, I went to an opportunity meeting. I didn't eat because I made a promise. I want to be there. I made a promise to Leone I would be there. I made a promise to my team members I would be there. I didn't eat. I ate when I got home, which was a bit later. But why did I do that? I did that for one reason. I wanted to change because I didn't want to be an ED anymore. I didn't want to live the life of just an ED. That was not enough. That was not good enough. I can't provide for Edelgard and the kids on 20,000. It's not enough. I need to have more money. I need to change more lives. I need to change and get bigger teams. I had to do something, but I had to change. So my bus trip was unfun. Would I do it again? In a heartbeat. Was it worthwhile? Absolutely. It was just the best thing I could have done to actually spend those 2 hours with Leone, be at the opportunity meeting, be at the training. The other thing that I had to do when we really got started, and I thought I'll address this because it came up again this weekend, and that is when we started in our previous network 14, 15 years ago, it was all about the babysitting. And these are small things, but they make a huge difference. Edelgard and I started when my child was 3 years and 5 years. And once I got the vision and I saw that I had my freedom, once I saw that this is the life I want, I knew I had to take Edelgard with. So I had to make the compromise. I had to sort out a babysitter. Now remember, I didn't have a lot of money then. 15 years ago, my salary was about 5,000 rand, and I didn't have a lot of money. But then I worked out the plan. I had a babysitter. It was a friend of ours. We paid her petrol. We couldn't afford the petrol for her, but we paid the petrol because it was way more important to change our lives than to stay the same. We just didn't want to stay the same anymore. Now, what was even more interesting is once I started with the network, and I'll share some of the information just now. But I had a full-time job. I worked 8 hours a day. I then finished work at 4 o'clock. I came home at 4:30. I said to my wife, if food is ready, I will eat. If food is not ready, I will not eat. And I will go and I will show the plan for our future. I would do the thing. I'll be a night rider. I'll go out there and change people's lives. So I didn't see the kids for the 8 hours today. I didn't see the kids at night. And then on weekends we had functions. In our previous network there were way more functions than we have now. And every time we organized a babysitter. So it was very, very tough on me because I never saw the kids. I really did not see the kids a lot. We had to do amazing sacrifices and we had to really, really work hard because I had such a low self-image, because I didn't know how to work with people. I had to be at all the training functions because I had to change my life. I didn't want to keep on having just a job. So what happened is that we had a babysitter. We really did have a babysitter. And with that babysitter, that freed us up so Edelgard and I can go out and we showed the plan. We went to functions every time. Every time we went to functions. We never had an excuse. Never had an excuse. Because we knew we wanted no job. I did not want to work for 40 years. And now the amazing thing is, just the other day, my lovely 2 children, they are now 18 and 20. And at 10 o'clock on a Wednesday morning, my wife, myself, and my 2 kids were sitting in the living room, having coffee, eating biscuits, and really having a good discussions. And I had to pinch myself because I was free. I didn't have to work anymore. I didn't have to go to work and be somebody else's slaves. I could be home. I could be spending time with the most important people in my life. The most important people, Edelgard and my 2 kids. And what I've learned is that everything that I wanted was outside of my comfort zone. I didn't like showing the plan. I didn't like going to meetings. But I just knew I had to change. I had to get out of my comfort zone. I had to make a call. I had to show the plan. And I didn't know how to show the plan because the only thing that I saw is that big meeting where I decided that I wanted to change my life. But I had absolutely no idea how to show the plan. So most probably that was the reasons why I got so many no's, because I didn't know what I was doing. And then work ethic. As I said just now, I just knew that I had to do an extraordinary job. I can't just be ordinary and build a network because I was so bad at it. I had to change. So the only way to change is to read lots of books and to do lots of actions. With the actions comes a new habit. With the new habit, then comes change. And with change comes excellence, because then you're a winner. In a job, you can't be a winner because it is just so difficult to go to CEO. And then once you're CEO, you have no time. You must probably have money, but you don't have any time. One of the most difficult things that I had to do is read. Now, when I got married to Edelgard, before we went to network marketing, the only things that I read was comics. Now, my wife didn't like that very much, but I said that's all I can handle, a bit of pictures and a few words, and I loved it. That was awesome. Now I went into network marketing, and the guy said to me, I must read. And I thought, last time I read, it was engineering books, It was really boring books. So, but I decided, because I wanted to change, I better start reading. So, what did I do? Because when I read at night, I was too tired. I would fall asleep. So I would stand up and read standing up, because that would be the only way for me to stay awake. Because remember, I worked 8 hours. I showed the plan. I had 2 appointments, one at 6 and one at 8. I got home at 10, and then I started reading. Remember that I had to get up at 6 o'clock to be at work at 7:30. But I read. I decided I'll read. The successful people has told me that when you read, you will change. When you change, you can have whatever you want. So I started reading. I really did start reading. It was not easy. It was very difficult. As you all know, English is my third language. So not only had I to understand the text, I also had to really learn English. Sometimes when Leonie gave me a book and I said to her, it's a really brilliant book, but I didn't understand half of it. But I still read it. And then sooner we worked out that I must actually read books that I can understand. So reading was not one of the easy things that I had to do, but I did it. I knew I had to do it because everything that I've been reading in school and in varsity prepared me for the E&S. I didn't want to be an employee. I didn't want to have a small business. I want to have a big business. I want to have a passive income. I want to stay in Hawaii if I wanted to. So I needed to change, and reading was one of it. The other thing that I realized is when I started, I needed to dress for success. Now, when I work in a job situation, and for 2 years I actually operated in an outside country, and then they forced me to be in a suit. But now I came to that network marketing company, and one of the things they said, you must dress for success. So I didn't like to wear a suit again, but I did it. Every night I got dressed in a suit, and those days I still had a suit, and then my pants tore, and then I didn't have a suit anymore. So when I got into Manatech, I didn't have a suit. And every time Leonie and Louis, they were so brilliant, but they said I must have a suit. But I didn't have a suit, and I didn't have the money to buy a suit because I wanted to be at a function. So I just decided I'll have my blazer that I borrowed from somebody, and I have a good pants, and that's all right. But I had to dress for success. So one of the things I did once I qualified as a PD, I actually invested the money. Now I have a suit. You most probably all saw it when I was in Joburg. That's my brand new suit. And you will see it again in Cape Town. I now wear a suit. The other thing that I had to learn really hard was relationships. Now, there was a book when I started originally, and that book was called Personality Plus. That book has actually changed my life because it changed my relationship to my wife. I actually thought that my wife was there to just irritate me, and then by reading that book I realized it is actually me that had the problems. I was a control freak. I wanted to be in charge, and actually my wife just wanted to live her life, and she's not a perfectionist like me. And so I had to learn relationships. Luckily, one of the 3 points that Louis and Leonie has developed is called relationships. Now, I was so bad about this is that, I had to learn how to write an SMS. When Louis and Leonie took me under the wings, what I did is I wrote an SMS which I thought I could send out, and I then sent it to Louis and to Leonie first. And she would always be so kind and change my SMS so that I don't offend people, that I actually do what needs to be done, and I need to write it in such a way that I am a leader and that people want to follow me. And it was very difficult at the beginning because I didn't know how to communicate with people. But now with Louis and Leonie's help, I luckily don't have to do that anymore. I can actually now write SMSs, and sometimes I feel so honored that Edelgard actually sends the SMSs to me and says, Hagen, can you help me with this SMS? And we start brainstorming the idea, and we start thinking about how can we write this in such a way that we don't offend people. That is not easy for me, and I have to think before I write an SMS. It takes time because I want to make sure it's right. So relationships was one of the parts that I had to really grow into, and helping people to move to the next, encouraging people to go to the next level, telling people that I believe in them. That is not something that is easy. That is not something that comes naturally. That is definitely something that I had to learn. One of the things that I also had to do is my attitude. When I started out in network marketing, I didn't have a good attitude. Actually, matter of fact, I had a very bad attitude. because I was very involved, and I knew exactly what happened in the news and in newspapers and all the wrong books that I read. But I just knew if I want to build a big business, I really have to change my attitude. Now later, when just before I lost my job, we had team sessions, and somebody would say, the leader would say, "Who's the guy with the biggest, greatest attitude?" And they all chose me, because I read the books, I listened to the CDs, I have hope, I have a dream. I knew I get my dream, and I then had a good attitude. And sometimes I see people, and they really complain about the small things, and I say to myself, if we complain about the small things, we'll never have the big things. And I realized that I need to have a good attitude, and sometimes things test me and I don't know how to react, and then I just be quiet for a while. And I really don't talk much until I get my attitude right. Before I say something, I rather not say anything before I have something said that is wrong. So excellence is making the right decision. And it's making the right decisions in every decisions you make. Excellence is going to the super region, even if you have no money. It's actually going to change your life because you want to change your life. And the only way to do that is to make excellence the only way to do it. There were times that I didn't have money to go to a function. I didn't have any money to go to a function. But because I knew for me to change from an E and an S, which I was trained to in making money in, I had to change to become a B. The B meaning a business owner. So I needed to have excellence. I needed to be at the meeting. And it was way before I started talking in the meetings, is that I knew that I had to be there because I knew I had to change. Change was what is needed. And the only way that I can change is to be with like-minded people. The only way that I can change is to hear Vincent talk, is to hear Selwyn and Priscilla or Kirsten. I should not mention names, but that is what I needed. That is where I want my kids to be. Those positive examples, that is what I want. So I have to be every time, every month. I've actually worked it out. I've been in over 40 super regionals in the last 7 years, and I will not miss the super regionals. Doesn't matter where I stand. I will fly in from wherever I am, but I will be at the super regionals because I need it way more than everybody else. I really do need it. So how can I do this? What can I say about excellence? Excellence is doing what needs to be done, even if people laugh at you. Let me give you one example. When I was an engineer and my boss saw me reading books on electronics, because that is my field of expertise, and I was reading these books about electronics and how the robots works, the boss and everybody would be very, very happy, and they say, "Man, Hagen, you are awesome. That is fantastic." But you know what? It didn't change me. Now what I had to do when I got into network marketing and they said I must read a book like Skill with People, I had to cover the book up. So what I would do is I would have Skill with People inside one of the electronic books so that people would not actually see what I was reading at work. So that is weird, but I had to do it because I didn't want to be the CEO of the company. I didn't want to stay at the job. I wanted to read books so that I have excellence, that I can give Edinburgh the best life that you could have. That is excellence. Excellence is doing what needs to be done. So let's play the game of excellence in Manatech. What is excellence in Manatech? Excellence in Manatech is to really go out to change people's lives. And lots of people tell me, "Yeah, but I don't know how to show the plan." It doesn't matter. Just show a video. Do something. Just get the message out there. We are so super excited what will happen in Manatech in the next few years. And it is really true that we are the trendsetters. I loved the talk from Charlotte Belinda, where they were talking about the 3 things we have in Manatech. And I won't steal their thunder, but it has something to do with wellness, and it has something to do with leadership. And it's just awesome to actually know that we are in a leadership development environment. I love it, to be developed, to go to the next level, to be pushed, to be challenged, to keep on growing, to be the best you can be. I think that is awesome, and I don't think at one stage one could do anything else other than that. So what is really excellence? Excellence is made out of habits, and in your habits you have desire, you have knowledge, and you have skill. Where desire is why we do what we do. So the desire is your dream. Your knowledge is knowing what to do. And the knowledge in Manatik is really easy. You just give them a DVD and you let them listen to it. And then finally you have skill, and that is how to do it. And I think that is not so important, because it doesn't really matter. If you're excited, and I love it, as somebody at the Super Region said, all you have to be is excited. If you're excited, then people will join you, because they don't understand any of it anyway. They don't understand the figures, they don't understand what Manatik can do, don't understand what the cell-to-cell communication is. But if you're excited, they will join you, because they don't join Manatik, they join you. They don't join anybody else, they just join you. So be the best you can be. Be excellent in what you do. And if you're excellent in what you do, you will have a huge, huge organization. So you can change your life pretty drastically. And you can improve any situation and learn any new skill just by doing lots of repetitions. Now, as I said, I was very, very bad at all of this. But I think now I've got it down. Somehow, some people are actually now joining me. I actually now have a group. And how's that happening? Just because I did lots and lots of mistakes. I sometimes say to people, I made the mistakes 13 times just to make sure that it's not working. So, if you learn just the right things, if you keep on keeping on, if you plug in with your biggest cheerleaders, your biggest cheerleaders is your upline, the people that have a vested interest in your life. You know, if it wasn't for Charlotte and Melinda, man, you guys rock. Charlotte, we are so impressed with you. Traveling the miles, showing the business opportunities, showing the products, teaching the people what wellness is all about. Thank you so much, Charlotte and Melinda. We really love you guys. Then Francois and Mabel, you guys are awesome. You have amazing knowledge on people skills, and you are just amazing people to be part of, and we really do love you, Francois and Mabel. And then Louis and Leonie, if it wasn't for you, Louis and Leonie, I don't know what would have happened to Hagen and Edelgard. It would have just taken longer. It would just have taken longer. And what has happened with all those uplines and all the leaders, they've set up a system called 3-point plan. And if you follow that plan, if I follow that plan, it will happen. And we have a system that we can run on. We have a track that we can run on. And we don't have to design our own place. We don't have to design our own system. I mean, people like Vincent and all the top leaders have set up an amazing system. And if we can just follow that system, be on the webinar, show the plan, be at the training, be at all the training, doesn't matter how difficult it is. I always say to people, is it really, really difficult, or is it impossible to go to the meeting? And it just shows me when people don't go to the meeting, they might not be as committed. They might actually really want their job. They might actually just want to, I don't know. But it's important for us all to go. And Edelgard and I, we're looking so much forward to the next Super Regionals, which is on next week, Saturday. And we are not going to miss it. Edelgard and I will be at all the functions. We will be sitting in the rooms, and we will listen to the speakers, because we want to grow. We want to go to the next level, and we can't do it sitting at home and doing the ironing. It doesn't work. I've tried it. It doesn't work. One has to go to a meeting. You have to be in that environment. And if you're in that environment, good things will happen to you. I promise that. Good things will happen. So it would be great to see you all in Cape Town. I'm leaving on Wednesday again. I have one rest day, and on Wednesday I'll be on the road again. I will be traveling to Cape Town again, and I will be there for the team. I will be there to meet up with Louis and Leonie. I'll be there for all the training sessions, because I need it. I need the training. We need to have that training. Everybody, because if you want to have your dreams, need to be trained in something different. So guys, I really love you guys. You are awesome. I'm looking forward to an amazing weekend in Cape Town, and I love to see you all in. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Vincent, Louis Leone, and all the top Manatech leaders. We really appreciated you, and we really love you. Thank you so much, and good night.
Wow, Hagen, that was very powerful, really. That was amazing. It was really good, man. I could hear your raw passion for this business coming through there on the call. So thank you so much, Hagen. I salute you as one of the emerging top leaders in Manatech. So I can see you guys building a very big business, and I wish upon you guys the Manatech blessing of may the sun never set on your Manatech business. So guys, that was awesome. Thank you so much again from Presidential Director Hagen Creek there. And awesome. You're going to see him at the Cape Town Super Regionals. That's the place to be. Bring everybody. That's the sort of inspirational messages that we're going to be hearing there. And I'm even more fired up now. So thank you very much, Hagen. That was awesome. And then lastly, guys, I just want to announce there was the launch of the Leadership Six Pack, which is 6 CDs that were put together by our Platinum Presidential couple, Louis and Leone, as sort of like the 6 CDs that everybody needs to get onto as soon as they start having a team that they're leading. Sort of the basics, of leadership and what to do and what not to do and what to watch out for and so on when you start leading a team in Manatech. So stuff like dangers of cross-lining and the power of edification, and financial education and so on. Just a very powerful sort of a collection of discs right there, and it's been named the Leadership Six Pack. So I just want to promote it here and tell you guys, get that Leadership Six Pack. It'll be launched at the training on Friday night. Well, actually, I believe it'll be available at the Best of the Best already, but basically you'll be able to get it from Friday night. 120 Rand, 6 CDs, and it's just they've done a beautiful job with it, and it's just sold like crazy up there in Johannesburg. So I want to tell you guys, make sure you get that 6-pack at the event. And then this is the last week to get everybody there. $160 for a Super Regional ticket until the event starts, and then it'll be 200 Rand at the door. So get your early bird tickets if you can now. Still, it's the early birds. I believe the early birds either they sold out or they're almost sold out, which is one of the first. I mean, normally we have early bird tickets available right to the end, but in Johannesburg apparently moved so fast that I think they basically run out of early bird tickets for the next event. So make sure that when you get to Joburg, so when you get to Cape Town, that you actually bring money with to buy early bird tickets, because you get it at 120 Rand, and that's the only place you can get it at 120 Rand. So guys, I'm super fired up about the Super Regionals coming up in Cape Town. I think you guys are going to get the better end of the stick, the better Super Regionals, because the guys just warm up in Joburg and then they really go for it in Cape Town. So be there, invite everybody. We're changing the world, and you guys can be part of this Mission 5 Million, part of history, like I said, and we're doing that. So awesome, guys. Thank you once again, Hagen, for an amazing talk, and we'll see you guys at the Super Regionals. And then next Monday night's call is going to be even more powerful, even more exciting, and we'll see you guys there. So until then, stay awesome. Good night.